Hi, and welcome to the best thing you watched this week. We got Chris from Movies and Munchies and myself, Zubin from the Ruby Tuesday. So I've been catching up on one of my favorite series just because I had so much to watch that I've basically the last 10 days I've been watching Pennyworth. So I'd seen season 1 and bits of season 2. And I caught up on season 2, and now I've seen season 3, which came out, the first, I think, episode or 2 episodes came out on Friday. And so Pennyworth is now a HBO Max original because that's just part of the acquisition. And it's now Pennyworth, the origins of Batman's Butler. Like, nobody knew that. Okay, if you didn't, Pennyworth is Batman's Butler. Anyway.
That is a terrible title.
Yeah, I know. Thankfully, it's still massive Pennyworth. And
Pennyworth.
It's small, more right.
Yes.
Thankfully, that's how that looks. However, it's going to take some people adjusting to where it left them off from the end of season 2. It was like a big war. They were going into the Battle of London. It's like our timeline, but things are slightly different. If that makes sense. Yeah. And so we jump 5 years into the future, so there's a big time gap between 2 and 3, and then because of the consequences of what happened, people are like, Pennyworth, instead of having a club which he owned in number 2, he owns a bar in number 3, and people have moved on and recovered from winning the war. Now, we knew they were starting to win the battle, but we didn't know they were going to win the war, but that just happened. And so now this time round, it's all about enhanced people, but enhanced in like mechanical ways. So like people would fuse things onto their bodies. Like there's a crazy scientist type of enhancements. And so Pennyworth has an investigated team with his best friend that carries on from season 2. We'd lost one in season 2, unfortunately, and in season 3 he has more to do with Batman's parents this time round. So Martha and
Thomas,
thank you. It's their origins as well, and it goes in a lot darker places that I wasn't expecting. A big part of this arc is about psycho controlling. So there's a crazy scientist that has created like they control drug, and so you can imagine the best people, if they are able to drop a pill in your drink, and if they can make you control you with a word or a music ability. And so that sets up everybody that you think that is always good, that'll never turn. If someone gets that, or someone that is really well trained then gets that dropped in, and then kind of like
Winter Soldier,
being controlled like that. So we have that as part of the origin story, and it's a lot of fun. They go a lot darker than I was expecting them to. It does feel like they've got a bit of a bigger budget this time around as well. That's good. They spend a lot of time with characters that they've been building up from season 1 and 2. There's one of those storylines where a character is bad and then works their way up to still being bad, but you like them because they're bad and taking out bad guys. To the point where we lose a character this season, which I was devastated by, even though technically they were bad. It's that sort of writing. I'm trying not to do spoilers. I'm just doing an overarching kind of what happens this season. I loved it. I feel like this show has gone from strength to strength, and unfortunately it's one of the lesser talked about series. Like there's a niche group of people that are watching it that know how good it is, but for some reason it's not either not gathering the audience it needs to, or it's not being showcased around the world more. And I think it definitely needs that, because it's a really quality show, like a good writing, great characters, and every episode has a thing that they investigate, but the main story is always there. It's always pushing forward, like what's going to happen at the end. Every season does this thing where it takes 3 or 4 episodes to get into the story and the arc, and so it feels slow. But once you get into that 4th episode or 5th episode, you understand why they needed that time to build up what's going to happen, and then it just feels like a roller coaster, which is exactly the same for this one.
Nice. Right on. Well, I have not seen, other than when they announced the new title, I haven't really seen much marketing online about this, which is...
It's sad, because honestly, it's very good.
Well, and you would think too, with all of the stuff that HBO Max, Warner, Discovery, all of that whole hubbub that was going on there, that they would have taken their existing properties or the things that they are pushing and and push them, you know. But it seems like I think really all they're pushing is House of Dragons.
Yeah, I don't get it because I would much rather watch this than House of Dragons at the moment. That's just my personal. I think for House of Dragons, I need to watch a whole bunch together. It feels like a show. You need to watch 2 or 3 episodes together.
Yeah. With that, I think we'll see you next week. Take care.